Hi, beautiful people. Reverend Teresa Garcia here today, and I want to talk to you about a program that has completely changed my life. Now, this is the Eternal Life Tribe, and it was created by the founder, Dr. Samuel Lee, who's also known as the spiritual psychologist. The spiritual psychiatrist. And so when I found this program, it was last November. I had just been physically attacked. I had my car stolen. I was homeless, and I was depressed and suicidal. And I had been known as the queen of positivity. So I had no idea how I was in the situation that I was in. However, I found this program and started doing these practices, and instantaneously, I felt a ton of density leave my body. It was almost like thick clouds of energy, and it felt very heavy. And I was actually doing one of the first techniques that he teaches, and it's the Akashic God Seal. Now, this is important because what we have found is that scientifically, Greg Braden has found that the God code is the symbol Yahweh is embedded in every single one of our cells. And by using these practices, we activate that power, that potentiality within us of God. So whether you are Christian or Islamic or, Jewish, it doesn't matter. It's all rooted in the same stuff. And if you're spiritual or a mystic, then great. This can still work for you. It really doesn't matter because we're all made of the same stuff, which is source. And when we tap into this energy, we tap into limitless potential. Now, I started doing this practice, and it was so profound that I actually tattooed the Akashic God Seal on my back. And that's because I had been dealing with spiritual warfare to the extreme. I mean, I literally wanted to give up. I watched, my son become possessed over and over. He became abusive, nonverbal, and was one of the sweetest boys ever. And all of a sudden was trying to kill me. I watched my business go from, $1 million in revenue to nothing. And I also watched all of the people that I thought care about me, with a couple exceptions, thank you, Sally, turn their backs on me. And because I had nothing to give, I wasn't important to them. And so, it was a really heartbreaking situation, and I was all alone. I had already lost all of my family, and, many of my lovers as well. And so it was constant chaos. And next thing I know, I'm completely depleted and I cannot rejuvenate. Well, I had beings courting me. And if you don't know what that is, just know that you can look up spiritual warfare from any religious or spiritual perspective, and you will find evidence in every single religion. Okay. It's happening on a regular. Most people are completely unaware, and, it is what it is. Jesus talked about this. Everyone, everyone out there is constantly either being a warrior of light or a warrior of darkness. And when you're a warrior of light, you are in a state of love. And when you're in a state of love, you physiologically positively impact everything that you come in contact with. And when you're in my glasses look funny. When you are in that darkness, that warrior of darkness, you're in a state of fear, and you negatively affect that energy is sent out to the universe, whether you're consciously hurting people or, belittling or, making people less than or impeding on their free will, or you're doing it consciously. It doesn't matter, right? So either you're positively affecting everyone or you're negatively affecting everyone. And I was in this state because I was in a state of fear. And of course, I had every reason to be fearful. But does that make it good for me? Does it better my situation? No. In fact, it made it worse. So I found this program. I started with this and fasting. And within a week, I had enough money to feed myself. Within a few weeks, I had enough money to sustain myself. And next thing I know, my business is soaring again within a month, from nothing to almost four figures. I think it was like 6,000 or something like that. And then the next month it was over 10K. Everything got better. My abundance, my relationships, everything. And, I got comfy and stopped doing the practices. And I watched everything crumble. And so I'm back at it, and I want to share this with you because this is something I wanted to share before and I was afraid of. And so here I am endorsing them now. I'm going to put a link below if you're interested in this program. I think it's only $55 a month or $300 for the year. It is not expensive, but it will provide the most abundance in truth that I've found so far. If you are someone who is a spiritual light worker and you've been spinning your wheels and dealing with sickness and dealing with things that are not abundance, abundance isn't just money. Abundance is relationships, healthy, meaningful relationships. Abundance is health, having vital life force energy flowing through you and through everything that you create. So if you're creating and not seeing any impact from the work that you're doing, you could be corded. And quite frankly, the more profound you are, the more empowered you believe you can be, the more beings are going to come at you. They don't really mess with those that don't have big dreams or that don't believe that they can alter the world that much, because it's not as fruitful for them. They really target those with big dreams and big goals and deep knowing. And so whether you're a light worker or you're someone that wants to explore your innate potential, your innate divine potential within, I invite you to this program. Thank you for your time. Talk soon.